This is a 1939 Majestic Model 259 6-tube AM shortwave radio. The cabinet is in fair condition. It's missing some knobs. It's got some battle scars, so it's not in the greatest condition. It's a little bit dirty, a little bit dusty, but not too bad overall. So we'll investigate, repair this radio as needed. So if this interests you, stay tuned. Alrighty, let's get into this old girl. So this is a pretty rare radio. There's no pictures of it at all on the interweb, so I think that qualifies it as being pretty rare. So I did find some advertisements and a couple of drawings on the interweb. The first one from the Radio Museum, and as it listed as a 259EB Echo Bravo, and mine, the label just says 259, so I'm not sure what's up with that. And one advertisement has the 259EB as a 5-tube radio. And then we got another one here that has 6-tube radio. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that. I'll show you the label here in a minute. But here's the schematic in case anyone wants to follow along at home. So I'll take it out of the cabinet and we'll have a look-see. We'll be back. Alright, we got it out of the chassis, and someone's been in this, I believe. There's 3 screws on the bottom holding it in. Only one was there, 2 were missing. So anyway, I'll show you the tag on my radio. See, it says just model 259. So I don't know, 259 EB, I don't know. Well, let's have a look. So the bulb is missing. The dial cord is detached. This little bushing here not looking too good. I'm not sure if that dial cord just popped off, or I don't see anything broken. We'll investigate it. And this is kind of cool. These little Yes records. I don't know if that's Yes the band, which I did see in concert back in 1983. But I digress. Let's have a look at the underside. I think that'll stay. So that looks, I think, original. Boy, all the innards look at first glance look original. That That I think is a replacement cap. That's a plastic one. That's original. That's original. Yeah. All right, I guess I don't mean to jinx it, but no one screwed with it too bad, I hope. So I'm going to clean it up, because if you've watched my videos, I don't like working on dirty, dusty stuff. But this one is not too bad. It just needs a slight cleaning of the dust, and we'll be back. Okay, I got it cleaned up a bit, and decided we're just going to fire it up with the dim bulb and variac. And so this, the filter capacitor is not original. I don't remember if I said that in the beginning, and I believe that cap is not original, but I think that's the only stuff that's been replaced, and the power cord's been replaced. So, oh, and I did put the dial string back on, so we'll be able to tune it. So I figure we'll fire it up, see what happens. So I did check the power switch, and it was making a connection. So we'll give her about 20 volts. Oh, I don't have the variac in frame, but it's 20 volts AC. Oh, and we'll monitor the B+, but I'm not expecting much of anything. That is that filter cap. Don't look so good. So we'll give her some more voltage, crank it up to 30. And nothing on the bulb. Let's try 40. There, the bulb is just slightly glowing. I will be shocked if those filter capacitors, well, the DC is coming up. That would be a Festivus miracle if that those caps work. Let's give her 50 volts AC. Boy, our DC is slowly coming up. I'll be darned. Incidentally, with that darn dial cord, must have broke before, and the person that put the cord on didn't do it right, and it kept popping off, and they used too short a piece of dial string, so I had to restring it, and I didn't have a go-by for it, so I had to spend, well, I'll bet I spent 2 hours figuring it out. So, anywho, let's crank her up to 60 volts. I guess we give it a little volume. With 4 volts DC, I wouldn't expect much, but want to bring it up a little bit slower so we don't blow anything up. Not that I really care about blowing anything up, but just seeing if the radio works. So 60 volts, and we'll go to 70 volts. Our DC voltage is coming up. And I guess incidentally, I don't know what our B plus should be. I'm guessing around 220 volts. First bulb is dimly lit. It's not blaring bright, so Hopefully no shorts. Now our DC voltage is going down. That's 80 volts. We'll go 90 volts. Well, we are getting some DC voltage. But it's awfully low for 90 volts, I would think. I guess let's give it 100. With our current limiting, with our voltmeter, we're right at about 60 volts AC going into it. I don't know. I'll give her another 10 volts to 110. Like I said, I'm guessing our B plus 220, 230. Nothing in the volume. Oh, yeah, no, that is the volume. It's crazy how, so the switch is tone control on off, and this volume is on the outside one, which is kind of weird. All right, we'll go the full 120. We'll give it another bulb here in just a second. As far as preliminary checks, I checked the power switch. Well, I did check the filter caps, and they didn't test as anything. So, well, let's give it another bulb. And we got speaker hum. Speaker hum and nothing out of the volume control. I mean, the volume control won't turn it off, so there's something in the audio stage. Hopefully the mic is picking up that buzzing. I guess we could try tuning it. Yeah. Volume control doesn't work at all. So we do have 151 volts. It just a pinch over 100 volts AC going into it. So we'll shut it down. We'll have to investigate what's going on, and we'll be back. All right, I took the electrolytic out. I figure it's as good a place as any to start. So we'll test this one. No bueno. We'll test this one. No bueno. No bueno. So, open or low capacitance. It must have a little capacitance because we did get some DC voltage. So we'll tack in some caps and see what that does. Real quick, I thought I'd see what capacitance we have. That other meter doesn't really go below 1 microfarad, so that's the bypass cap for the output tube. That's one of the 40 microfarad is 2 nanofarad, and the other completely dead. So we had 2 nanofarad giving us DC voltage. Pretty impressive. All right, I'll get the caps in. So we have our 3 capacitors just tacked in there. If there's something majorly wrong with this radio, we can easily remove them and reuse them. It's just a little dangerous doing it that way, so I don't recommend doing it that way. And one other thing I thought I'd mention is I always put knobs on the radio just for safety, because I don't think I ever have, knock on wood, touched a chassis and got shocked, but I don't like to touch any metal, even if there's a 1 in a million that you can get zapped. All American 5 radios with the hot chassis without the transformer, they're a lot more dangerous. But anyway, in case anyone ever wondered. So, all right. So with 2 bulbs, we had about 150 volts of DC. So let's we'll power it up. See what our DC voltage is. I got 2 bulbs on there, and this will hopefully be better. Incidentally, those that filter cap was only rated at, I think it was 250 volts. And as you can see, when these first fire up, they go up a good 300 plus volts. So let's see. We got no sound now. No hum anyway. Well, that fixed our hum, but we got no audio. So, what could it be? It could be a bad tube. Probably most likely. That'd be my guess, but I've been guessing that wrong quite a bit lately, so let me one other thing I wanted to mention, that schematic that I posted the first time was from a model 260, and this is a 259, no schematic that I could find, and I looked and looked and looked. But anyway, so the 260 does not have the cathode bypass capacitor that this one does, assuming that that's supposed to be there. So, because I did go through and check out a few of the, I compared the wiring to the 260 schematic, and I think there was like I didn't go through the whole thing, but there was like a cap missing here, but here and there, I think just one, but all the resistances were the same, which incidentally, these resistors are really, really out of spec, big time. So I guess possibly that could be a problem, but anyway, let me look around a bit and we'll be back. Alright, still haven't been able to find the problem, but I am checking the grid capacitor going to the output tubes, and there's 10 volts of DC on there, so that might have cooked a tube or two, so I'm going to replace that cap and check the tube. Alrighty, it's been a minute since I worked on this. I did a few other projects, so I have to get back in the groove of tube stuff after working on solid state stuff. But anyway, I replaced the grid cap because I was worried about there it is down there, worried about it punishing tubes. And I tested the output tubes. There's 2 of them, and the what is it, the 6AC5, out of frame, the 6AC5 was dead, so I have a new old stock I put in there, and let's give it a try now. I have it on a 100-watt bulb off camera. Let's see. See if we have some noise now coming out of this thing. All right. Can't get any stations to come in. Let's see. Our B plus 165 volts at dim bulb limiting us to about 100 volts, but let's see, our current's good. That B plus seems low. I have no idea what it's supposed to be. The max should be about 250 volts. I know the dim bulb's pulling it down, but it should be at least 200 volts. So I got a feeling our those other old paper caps in there are leaking, bringing our voltage down. There's a across the line cap there that should be replaced, and yeah, but I think it's promising enough to make it worth the investment to put the capacitors in. There aren't that many. Just looking, 1, 2, 3, 4 paper caps. There might be a couple more hidden somewhere, but another thing I did was I made a schematic that's much more readable than the one we had previously from the factory. So for me, having something you can actually decipher makes it much easier. So on the B plus, we have let's see, we got that cap there that could be taking our voltage down. Let's see, we got we got one here. So we got some caps that need to be replaced, and we'll see if that lets us bring in a station. Okay, I got the caps in. I just put the safety cap in there and the two up there, and our voltage only came up about 10 volts, if I remember correctly. So I did clip a 455 kilohertz signal with my generator maxed, and it's no signals going through it. So there are a lot of out of spec resistors, a couple more caps, but I got a feeling it's a tube. I mean, we should be able to hear something coming through this, so I'm going to test the rest of the tubes and we'll be back. Alrighty. So, tested the rest of the tubes. The 6Q7, this one here, tested very, very weak. It probably would have worked, but I put a 6Q7 GT in there, and then I got onto the 6U7, and I didn't notice this when I cleaned it. I'll see if the mic picks it up. Hopefully the mic picked that up. That tube's dead as a doornail. So I don't have any 6U7s. I looked through all my radios and no other radio I have uses a 6U7. But luckily, I have a Montgomery Ward's NOS 6K7, which is a direct drop-in. So I'll get this all put back together and we'll see if she works. Oh, one other thing, I forgot to mention that there is one more tube in there, the 6K8, which tested really good. So what do we got? 3 bad tubes. That's a record for me. Oh, and one other thing, the low B plus could have been from those bad tubes as well, so we shall see. So we got our B plus monitor. Let's fire it up, see what we got. Still on the 100-watt bulb. Our B plus. B plus is even low. Well, I should turn up the voltage a bit. B plus about the same. I'll be damned. There's still no reception. Huh. Well, that's interesting. So I know that, where's a pointer? I know this resistor is out of spec, and that is dropping resistor for the B plus for, let's see, the 6U7 and 6K8. So maybe they're getting under voltaged. I don't know. Interesting. Well, I guess I'll go through and, well, there's a couple other capacitors I haven't replaced yet. Let's do those first. And I don't recall if I ever had a radio that wouldn't work because, well, I've had them for bad resistors, but of a resistor that's drifted up in value. So let's replace these few other caps and see what that does. Okay, this is bizarre. I turned my scope on. I was going to show how you can check and see if the oscillator's running. You just put the scope in the oscillator coil and you can see it's running. And just by divine luck, where I left the tuning thing, or the tuning dial, hopefully it's picking it up. There's a radio station coming in and it's playing music, and I'm like, what in the hell is that on that end of the dial? And that is my local 1420, and it's coming in at what is that? I can't see. So about 750 on the AM dial. So just by dumb luck, hopefully the mic's picking that up. So our tuning is way, way off. That is bizarre. That is really weird. But our oscillator's obviously running, so I'm going to do a little more investigating, see what I can come up with. Okay, I got the rest of the paper caps replaced. That didn't do anything. I didn't really think it would as far as the reception goes, but this radio's been acting very strangely. So I have the oscilloscope probe there in the oscillator, and you can see on the scope we have a good strong signal. But I notice when I go down the dial, we lose it at about 177 megahertz, and I did the math. We lose it around 1300 on the AM dial. So then we go up, and then it just dies because we're way out of our AM range. So the tuning capacitor is off. There's an adjustment on there. I don't know if there's enough adjustment to make up for it's off as much as it is. It shows on the dial 750 where 1420 should be. That's quite a span. But another issue I've come across is the little feeler fingers on the tuning cap are dirty, or they can get dirty, and that's what kills the oscillator. So I will reposition the radio, and we'll take a look at that and clean it up and see if that fixes at least. We should get oscillation on the low end of the dial. So let me do that. We'll be right back. Alright, this is a close-up of our tuning cap here, and as you can see, it's pretty dirty. So the way these things work is we got a connection on top here, a connection on top here. That's these fins of the tuning cap, and then these fins. There's a wiper that connects to ground, and if this contact is dirty, we don't get a good ground. And you'll find this fairly common in old radios that get dirty. I mean, the other thing that can ground it out is if there's contact between the stator and the rotor. So none of the fins look bent, so we just need to clean that up, and I think we'll be better. So I just use the quick drying contact cleaner. Sometimes I'll take a pipe cleaner and run it in there and wash it out best I can, and because you can get static contact between the stator and the rotor. This is the rotor, and these top ones are the stator. So let's see which one. This one I marked. Oh, this is the oscillator. So, but we need to clean them both. So let's clean it up and see what we got. All right, I thought I would show my process for how I'm going to clean this. Oh, and there's one other thing, and I had it happen on one of my other videos. You can get these things called tin whiskers that develop between the plates on the capacitor, and that can really cause some havoc, but I don't think that's the issue here. I don't see any. So instead of just going ahead and blasting with the contact cleaner, it wasn't too terribly bad inside here, so I just took a pipe cleaner and just went in and kind of cleaned those things out. It was mostly just dust. Like I said, I don't think any tin whiskers. So we will blast it now with some contact cleaner. I'll put a little paper towel below it to catch the contents. So let me do that. We'll be right back. All right, I got the paper towel in place just to keep the contact cleaner from going everywhere, and just use the CRC quick drying stuff. And the paper towel, also being white, will we'll be able to see if much dirt washes out of here. So it doesn't look too bad, which is good. So we'll let that dry, and then we're going to clean these fingers here. So we'll be right back. So just real quick, with the tuning cap turned up a little bit, I just sprayed some in these bottom fins, and the paper towel is pretty clean. When those fins are really dirty, man, you can see the dirt that flushes out on the paper towel, so it's not too bad. So it's these fingers that we need to address right here. So let me get set up for that. All right, so this little spring clip here contacts the rotor. So we'll there's one in the front and there's one in the back. The one in the back's kind of tough to get to, but this one isn't too terribly dirty. Just kind of spray it in there and work it. What I will sometimes do, and I think I'll do in this case, is wedge a little piece of paper in between there, and that'll show us how dirty it is. So let me get a piece of paper. All right, so I got a piece of paper in there that'll kind of act like a wick, and we can usually that doesn't stay in place, but it luckily does. So we can take this out and see what See how dirty it is. It's gonna. Let's see, can the camera pick this up? And it's not that terribly dirty, but there is a, you can see it there just a little bit. There's some corrosion on there, and it's not too bad. So we'll do that a few times. I'll maybe try and get it to that back wiper back there, and then we'll do this one. Let's finish cleaning it up and see what see how it tunes. Okay, another way we can check if our stator is getting grounded out is just click a lead on the stator and a lead to ground, and hopefully I got it on beep mode. Beep, beep. So yeah, so no beeps, and hopefully it's making good contact. That's just a close-up there of the dirt that you can get off your contacts there by inserting that piece of paper in there and soaking it with the contact cleaner. All right, it's a moment of truth. Let's see what we got. See if I can. Boy, not getting anything. So a couple things. It could be that someone messed with these adjustments for the tuning scale, and they might have messed with the IF cans. I don't know. I think I'll try feeding a signal into it and see if we get anything. I'll get that set up. All right, I got a 1500 kilohertz signal, just Y1500, just whatever, and I got my can't see what I have my output on. Let's see, it's wow, so it's about half a volt. That's pretty strong. Let's and I think our tuning dial improved. So we were 1420 was about here, and 1500 is up around 90. Let's vary the frequency here and see if we can tune down. All right, that's 1100. No. All right, I have to get the scope and see if our oscillator is still running. All right, so it's better. It dies now right around 650. And it was dying a lot higher, so maybe we need to clean those contacts again. I didn't think they were that dirty, but let me try that. All right, I cleaned the tuning cap again. I still got some dirt coming out of it, but I think I'm going to just align it by ear and just see if that is way off. So I have a really strong signal close to a volt coupled into the antenna lead. So I have the oscillator grounded, volumes all the way up. This should be the second IF. Oh, and I always mark the original positions just to see what's what. Wow. So that one, let's see, so far a quarter turn. Yeah, that one, yeah, under a quarter turn. Woo. That one way off. I guess not that much. It's about a 16th of a turn. We're getting technical. Yeah, we're getting much better. Wow. Yeah, now we're starting to pick up background noise. That one was about 1/8 of a turn off. Getting the background noise. All right, let's see what we went from plus 10 dBm to minus 40. So that's a pretty big difference. All right, let me get this all taken off and see if we can tune anything. Again, okay, the moment of truth. So that alignment was really, really off. I don't know if that substitute tube had anything to do with it. Would we put a 6K6 in for the 6U7? I don't know. Okay. Oh, hold on. I forgot the antenna. Hang on. All right. Not a station to be found. Did all the AM stations go off the air after the first of the year?
San Diego's top sports radio station booted from their broadcast.
What the hell? I can't even get my local at that. What the hell? Okay. So our 455 is hot. Maybe our antenna tuning is off. We'll try adjusting those tuning caps for the top end of the band. Let me get set up for that. All right. It dawned on me it could be that antenna coil might be bad. But let's first see if we can fix the dial. So there's a adjustment here for 1750, and we're at about 1300. So let's see if we can adjust this. I can't see. Oh, there it is. I got us to 1400. I got a feeling we're going to run out of adjustment. Yeah, that's the end of it. So, all right, I'm going to have to do some investigating. Okay, this has got to be the most bizarre radio I've ever worked on, tube-wise anyway. So, I paralleled in a loop antenna here, and it gets that's AM 1540, and it's right around 1,000 megahertz on the dial. And it gets 1420, which is around 80 on the dial. So I'm not really sure what to think. If that AM coil, if there's something wrong with it. But so the first thing I'm going to do, or it's the 827th thing I'm going to do, is I'm going to parallel in a cap up by that trimmer cap, because we ran out of capacitance turning it in to get our dial correction. Maybe once that's where it should be, it'll be better. I don't know. But I'm going to try that. We'll be back. All right, I can't believe it, but I did figure it out. It was this stupid 600 kilohertz patter. That is bad, or out of spec, or it's not right. So I have a 220 picofarad cap paralleled into that, and now we get 670 the score. WGN, WBBM, It's actually picking up a lot of stations faintly. And 1420. So, wow, that was a lot of hours. I kept looking at that thing. I'm like, that couldn't be the problem. So I'm gonna have to look and see. I got a box of variable caps. See if I can figure something out for that. Oh, and sorry it's dark, but with the light on, it picks up too much static. Alrighty, I did some screwing around with this deal. So this is our trimmer cap right here, and this is the capacitor I have paralleled in to our trimmer deal, and I experimented with some values, and 470 picofarad seems to make the radio happy. I wanted to find a value that would be about in the center of the travel for the trimmer. So I looked through my stash, and I do have 4 trimmers. And incidentally, these are what you call compression trimmer condensers or capacitors, and they're multi-turn deals. But anyhoot, it is working really, actually unbelievably good. So got 670 the score, WGN, I think that's WBBM. The big test is if it gets WLS, and it does get it pretty good. And our local 1420. So this thing, actually, with all those out of spec caps, is an unbelievable performer. I mean, holy cow. Oh, and I took the loop antenna out and just have it connected to this crappy 6-foot antenna I have laying on the floor. But yeah, it really works well. So I ordered on eBay, I guess just to have one, I think it's a 100 to 600 picofarad. And I measured this one, and it goes from about 86 to, what was it, like 300? So I'm not quite sure. It's the original trimmer. I'm not really sure what's wrong with it. This cap here that goes from the trimmer to ground is definitely good. I subbed in replacements on that. It didn't make any difference. And yeah, so I guess I'm going to get the radio kind of put back together. I got stuff dangling and these capacitors dangling, so let me get that done real quick. Okay, I got everything put back together. I got the little 470 picofarad cap squirreled in up there, and I permanently mounted the filter caps and the bypass cap there. And so I don't have the knobs for this, so I'm going to wait to replace all the out of spec resistors. Could use a new power cord. That's it's actually not that bad, but it's getting kind of old. But it man, after finally figured out what the hell's going on with it, it actually works really good. It's actually a top performer, I would say. So I'll get it back in the case, and we'll have some final thoughts. The radio is finally put back together after quite a bit of work, but everything good now. So kind of recapping what we did, the first thing I did was the dial string that was on it was off of it, and I tried to put it back on, but it wouldn't work, and turns out it was improperly redone. So I spent some time and got that done so we could tune it, and then we went to fire it up, and we did get some DC voltage out of it, but the filter caps were bad and the bypass cap was bad. So, and then we replaced the leaky output tube grid capacitors, and we got some B+. It was kind of low, or it seemed low for me for what the tubes were. But we were on the dim bulb, so I don't really know what it was supposed to be. The original filter caps were only rated at 200 volts, so I mean they should have been higher anyway. But maybe the B+ is just lower on this. I don't know, but it works good. Then we found 3 bad tubes, which is a record for me. I think the most I've ever had is 2. Usually it's just 1, but and to be fair, one tube was mechanically broken. I don't know if it was wrecked during shipping or what the deal was. So we proceeded to find that the tuning dial was way off, and we had a limited oscillator function. So I tried cleaning the tuning capacitor, which didn't fix anything, but I'm sure it cleaned up some static in it, getting all the dust and whatnot out of it. Then we did IF alignment, and that really woke it up. It was off quite a bit. So then we went on to the oscillator circuit, and I was messing with the 1750 kilohertz adjustment, and we ran out of adjustment to get the dial right, but and I don't know why I didn't go to the 600 kilohertz pattern. I've never actually had a problem with a radio before. I usually don't even mess with it. The dial's usually right on, but that's a lesson well learned. And incidentally, that pattern, the adjustment was screwed all the way in for the least capacitance, and we needed capacitance to fix it, so I'm not quite sure why that was where it was. And I don't even really know what's wrong with that thing. I didn't take it apart because I was afraid of wrecking it, so I couldn't get it back together. So anyway, I mean, it's a nice radio. It's a great performer, terrific performer now that we got everything working right. I need to find some knobs on it, or for it, and I may try and make some. I looked on eBay, and there was nothing even close to what I need. So, and it needs resistors replaced. The case needs to be refinished. So to date, I mean, this is the longest it ever took for me to get a AM tube radio working. It was painstaking, but in the end we figured it out, that crazy patter trimmer. So it was a fun one to work on. Frustrating at times, but I hope you all enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.